solution problem. We don't know how to divide by 0. So it has to make sure it's a non-zero number. Okay, so division property of equality. Let's go ahead and try that out on a problem. Let's do, for example, 3x equals 12. Okay, 3x equals 12. We're going to divide both sides of the equation by the same number. So we're going to do by 3. 3x divided by 3 is the same as 3 divided by 3 times x. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So it's 1x. We don't usually write out 1x, do we? What do we write instead of 1x? Well, that x is implied, so or the 1 is implied, so we just write out x. And then 12 divided by 3, which is 4, so x equals 4. Again, if you want to write out using some algebra, we could say that ax equals b. Divide both sides by a, as long as a does not equal 0. And we'll get x equals b divided by a. So for a practice problem, we could try to solve negative 7x equals 42. Well, again, you want to make sure you want the variable by itself on one side of the equation. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go, boy, right now this x isn't by itself, it has that negative 7 next to it, so I'm going to divide by negative 7. How do I know to divide? Well, it's negative 7x, negative 7 times x, and I want the inverse operation, that's going to undo the multiplication. It's going to be division, so negative 7x divided by negative 7. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is just 1, so left with x. And you have to make sure you do the same thing to the other side. 42 divided by negative 7 is negative 6. X equals negative 6. Then, of course, it's always a good idea to check your answer. So we get negative 7 times negative 6 equals 42, because we're just plugging this in to our equation. Negative 7 times negative 6 is 42. 42 equals 42, so we know we got the right answer. Okay, and the multiplication division property, or multiplication property of equality, is the exact same as the division property, only it's multiplication instead of division. So instead of writing out, I'm just going to say that they're the same, as long as you use multiplying instead. So, for example, if we have x divided by 3 equals 12, then this property tells me I can multiply both sides of the equation by the same number and get an equivalent equation. So I'm going to multiply both sides times 3. Well, x divided by 3 times 3 equals x, and 12 times 3 equals 36. So x equals 36. Or using algebra, you could write out x divided by a will equal b. Multiply both sides by a, and we'll get x equals b times a. For a practice problem, we're just going to try to solve 5 equals w divided by 11. Well, what side do I want to look at? What side has the variable w divided by 11? I want to have the w by itself, and that's a division. So what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this side by 11, and I have to do the same thing to the other side. So I get 55 equals w. Now, technically, when we're writing this out, we would never write out 55 equals w as a final answer. It's just mathematical standard that the variable is always on the left-hand side when you're writing out an answer like that. So we'd probably want to rewrite it as w equals 55. And again, that's more just because that's the way it's standardly done. 55 equals w is saying the same thing. Okay, we should probably check that answer. So we get 5 equals w divided by 11. Plug in our 55, so we get 5 equals 55 divided by 11. Or 5 equals 5, which it does. So that means we got the right answer. Okay? Pretty short notes again today because that's just looking at the same things we did the previous lesson. But that doesn't mean it's not really important. So make sure you're showing your work as you go through this section. And I will see you tomorrow.